Hey, what's up, everybody? So this is Mike back here again. Wanted to do a real quick review of a router purchase that I recently made. So when I say recently, about 3-ish months ago. So everything that you see here is what came with it, aside from um, the wrench also, and then a couple of different screws just for the base plates and that kind of stuff. And also came with kind of an indexing pin type thing too. So this is the Performax brand, or Performax. I'm not exactly sure how you say it, but so this is probably not something you see a whole lot of in YouTube videos. Actually, kind of posting this because I didn't see anybody post any videos of it. So this is something that is exclusive to Menards, and it's caught my eye for a long time. Previous to this, I only had a small Bosch Colt 1 horsepower handheld, just kind of palm router kind of thing. And that was mostly, I just was doing some different edge profiling and stuff like that, so I didn't really need any more than that. Well, then I kind of branched out and was doing some other bigger projects where I needed just a beefier router. So that's where this came in. This is a 2 horsepower motor, variable speed. So everything that you see here came included with the purchase. So it's got fixed, obviously, and plunge base, edge guide. There's a dust port down there underneath the fixed base that you can see. And if I'll turn this around here too, there's also a additional dust port that comes for the fixed base that you can actually screw in there. So, and they work great too. I know one of the biggest complaints about routers is dust collection. This actually has really good dust collection. Those 2 ports there, they hook up to a standard, I think it's like 1 1/4 inch dust collection hose, whether that's shop vac or just different attachment, whatever the case may be. So this is variable speed, I think anywhere from 11,000 to like 25,000 RPMs, if I remember right. It's got a soft start, which is great, so it doesn't jump right out of your hand. And I'll show you guys that here in a minute. The grips are nice, so they're plastic with rubber on them as well. The only thing I'm not crazy about is the on and off switch that you guys can kind of see. Let me see if I can, right there. So it's that metal, just kind of toggle switch, I guess. If anybody here watching this runs an Echo chainsaw, it's the same style. Not a huge fan of Echo chainsaws just because of that. They're good saws, but anyway. So I just prefer a rocker type button, but again, not anything that obviously deterred me from making the purchase here. So the biggest thing for me in making this purchase was everything that you see here was $109. So I looked everywhere, and there wasn't anything that you could buy brand new for $109 that had anywhere near this kind of horsepower or the plunger fixed base for that matter. So the edge guide, it's nothing spectacular, but it does work. There's screws on both the fixed and plunge base to hold it in place, so it works great. The depth stop on the plunge base is great also. It's got some micro adjustments there, and at the same time, like I said, I think it's got a plunging ability of 2 1/4 inches, which is awesome. And you can kind of see it too. So this part right here, this is where you would go and you plunge down, and it's easy to catch right there with your left thumb. So really easy to work with. Doesn't stick or anything like that. The movement is very, very smooth. Just overall been very, very pleased with this. I'm not going to show it in action. I think everybody has seen routers in action, so I just don't necessarily think there's any purpose for that. It does have both 1/2 inch and 1/4 inch collets, so that was one big thing for me too. A lot of the bits that I had, because my old router was a 1/4 inch collet, almost all of my bits, not all of them, but almost all of them had a 1/4 inch collet. So being able to use bits from my smaller router into something bigger was enticing for me as well. A couple other things that are nice about it. So it's got again, these are just small things, but it's got a power indicator. So let's say, like what I plan to do here is, I plan to, basically this is going to be the one that I use in a homemade router table. So you'll see that build here coming up soon. But I bought an insert plate off Amazon. so that I can use this in the extension wing of my table saw. And so this will be the router that I use for that. And I don't, I don't necessarily use a router enough to go out and purchase another one to have one both underneath in a router table, and then also to have, just in case I want to use it on bigger stuff. If I do purchase another one, it'll probably be another maybe small handheld type one just for edge profiling, and anything else that I need, I can either run it through the router table itself, or, worst case, not a big deal, I can always just take it off the router plate and put it back into the plunge base or whatever. So not a big deal. But like I said, the power indicator is a nice feature, and I can show you that here in just a second. So you plug it in, and it's got, might not be able to see that, but there's a green light right here that lights up to show that, hey, it is plugged in. So a couple other nice things here in the back. So this is where you see, here's how you've got your different depth adjustments here. This is actually really nice. This is a rack and pinion style depth adjustment, and it's, open this up, push this button here. This is kind of to lock it into place. And it moves up and down pretty easily. Just let it go and it locks in. This right here, this is your micro adjustment. Again, super easy to do. You can see, you turn it, and you can see the pin on the inside already starting to turn. And again, lock that back in place and you're good to go. So again, this is something, wasn't meant to be a super long video, just wanted to give my thoughts on it. Again, excuse me, handles are nice, like I said before. Dust collection has been great. Obviously you see here, it's not brushless, which, to me, not a big deal. Again, same thing, doesn't really matter to me, so that wasn't anything that was going to deter me from making this purchase. Like I said, only thing, just not crazy about that on and off there. I could show you guys real quick the soft start too. So you see the soft start there was down in the lowest speed, which was the #1 setting, and took it all the way up to 6 there. Not super quiet, but again, most routers aren't quiet either. So, it's not any, it may be a little louder than my old Bosch handheld one, but again, not anything that was going to deter me from the purchase. I think almost all routers are probably within the same decibel rating. So, and as you saw there too, there's LED lights underneath the bottom to help you see a little bit better. So there's you might be able to see. So on the plunge base here, you've got kind of this dust or chip deflector here, which is great. So as you're pulling that along, you're not getting anything in your face as you're trying to see. But then you've also got one here, and this is nice because it just clips in and out. So this can just pull right out of here. Figures that I can't get it out, but anyway, that just clips in and out. And this dust collection chute here, this actually can screw in on the other side too. It actually will fit snug enough that it holds in there, but it came with a couple of screws to screw it in. And then here's one for, this one goes underneath, obviously if you were doing like an edge or something like that, that this can catch it as well. And again, there's screw holes here for that to fit in. So all in all, very pleased with this, very happy with it. If anybody's got any questions, feel free to shoot those down into the comments below. Again, this is exclusive to Menards, 2 horsepower motor, LED light, plunge fixed base. Like I said, $109. Really, in my opinion, can't beat it. They do actually sell too. I think they've got the same brand, a 1 1/4 inch palm router that I believe is variable speed. Very, very similar to the Bosch. Actually, looking at them side by side, aside from the colors, they're very similar. So that might be something that, again, like I mentioned earlier, if I was looking for an additional one, might be something that I'd pick up just because I think it's like $50 or $60. So all in all, like I said, very pleased. For the weight, same thing, for a, you know, it's a bigger, beefier router, so it's got a little bit of heft to it, but again, nothing outrageous. I think if I remember right, it was like 11 or 12 pounds, and I'm not sure if that's with either one of the bases or just the whole thing or whatever it is, but that's kind of just what you get as you get into bigger routers. So hope you guys like this video. If you do, let me know. If you don't, let me know what you'd like to see different. And again, if you've got questions, feel free to ask and I'll be sure to answer them. All right, guys, I'll see you next time.